Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Chill Survival series. Today we're going to build a cozy greenhouse for all of our bee friends that live in this flower forest with us. We have a lot of work ahead of us today, so let's get started. So we've been living in this area for quite some time now. So much that we've established a really nice base around us. But there's also been quite a few other residents living here as well. Since we're in a flower forest, we have a pretty big bee population around us. And I think it's time that we build a cozy spot for them. So my idea for today is to build a greenhouse that also functions as an automatic bee farm. That way we can get a supply of honeycomb and honey while the bees get a nice place to live. So I noticed this spot right by our starter home a while back that I think would be perfect for the greenhouse. It has plenty of space, it's got flowers surrounding it. I think overall it just has the perfect vibe. And right here actually looks like a good spot to extend the path for this build. Now I love the idea of having a greenhouse nestled in a forest surrounded by trees. However, we're gonna have to get rid of these for the time being, just to make sure we have enough space to actually put the build down. But like I said, we'll bring them back afterwards because we definitely want to maintain that cozy forest vibe. If we strip too much of that away, it's just gonna look a little bit too barren and won't have the right look to it. Now let's shear some of these leaves while we're at it to make sure we got all of the wood in these knotted trees. They're pesky, but that's okay because we do need oak leaves to decorate with anyway. And I think it's gonna be time that I retire this little tree farm that I have with these spruce trees because the podzol definitely does not match the vibe of this area. I think we might end up having to move that as well. But for now, it looks like we have a pretty good surrounding area to build this. However, I'm definitely gonna have to get rid of some of these flowers too. But of course, bees love all of these flowers, so we're definitely gonna have to bring these back as well. Alright, that's looking much better, and it looks like we've got a pretty good amount of space to work with. But we're definitely gonna have to flatten some of this out with dirt. Alright, let's go grab some so we can begin fixing that up. As you can see, I organized all of my storage, so everything is labeled correctly, finally, and it is all nicely organized, nicely tucked away, and it is easy for us to get to all of the things that we need. I don't think I need that much dirt. I'm gonna put a little bit back. And of course, let me grab a couple chests so we can organize our items by our build. Alrighty, I think that should be good. Let's lay these down here, and we'll just toss in some of the stuff that we gathered while tearing down these trees. Now let's begin flattening this terrain down a bit so we have an even space to work with for our build. Hello. I'm gonna have to fill this spot in, buddy. Thank you very much. Perfect. And that, my friends, is a lesson in why you should always keep all of the dirt you collect. Trust me, you're always gonna need it. Alright, so I think we've got a pretty good patch of land cleared. This should be more than enough room for our greenhouse. And just a quick note, while I was filming this part, I realized I had left my map mod on from stream the other day, so that's just gonna be in the corner for about a minute or so. Alright, now that we've got our spot all cleaned up, I think it's time for us to decide what materials we're gonna build with. So of course we're gonna need lots and lots of glass, which we don't have much of, but we do have some sand that we can start burning. Just gonna divide it up into these two furnaces. And of course, I do need some more coal in there as well. And as for all of the beams and pillars, I was kind of picturing a mix of spruce, which we've got a little bit left of, and some dark oak, which, we've got like none. That's okay though, because we're surrounded by dark forest, so we can easily get some. And lastly, for the base of this, I was kind of thinking of going with mud brick. We've got a little bit of packed mud, and we've got lots of mud in our inventory, so we can easily make some, so that works out. Alright, so we've got our materials picked out. However, we still need to gather a lot of them in order to be able to build this thing. And I think we can start off gathering some of the spruce we need because we need to clear these trees out anyway. So we're getting two things done at once. Alrighty, they're all gone now. And we've got more than enough spruce that we're gonna need for our build today. So I'm just gonna pick up these saplings and I'm gonna stash them away in this barrel for now, and we'll replant our spruce trees somewhere else. Alright, so the spruce has all been solved. So next we need to get our mud bricks. So to turn the mud into mud bricks, we need to use wheat. And thankfully we have this huge wheat field around us, so that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, that's one more thing knocked off our list. So So now all we need to do is combine this mud with the wheat to make packed mud. And I think with all this wheat that we gathered, this should be enough for what we need to build. We're pretty much just going to be using this to outline the footprint and maybe a little bit on the paths as well. But of course, if we need more, we can always harvest a little bit more wheat for this. Alright, that's all sorted, so now the very last thing that we need is some dark oak. Which thankfully we have a pretty large dark forest nearby. You know what, I don't really have much of a path that leads to the forest anymore. I feel like it would be nice to have a small one trailing off into the forest over here. Alright, now that we've hit the trees, we can kind of taper it off a little bit more, kind of like this. And I think that looks pretty cute. Doesn't have to be anything special, it's just nice to have paths that lead into areas that we often visit. Alright, perfect. There is our dark forest. And you can tell I was once busy away at work over here because there's still a few pieces hanging around. And I forgot to chop down a log. Would you look at that? Alright, let's get to work chopping some of these down. Alright, that seems like a pretty good amount of dark oak. So I think we're good to head back to our base now. Alright, we've got all of the materials we need, so I think we can begin building this thing. So the first thing we're going to have to do is make a footprint for this build. And we're going to do that using packed mud, but I think I'm going to use some composters on the corners. Okay, I think I'm going to get rid of a couple of these trees just to give ourselves a little bit more space. Yeah, that's a lot better. It felt just a tiny bit cramped over on this side. Now that we've got a good amount of space, let's start by laying down the foundation for this greenhouse. And let's just pop in a spot for an entryway right here. I want the bees to be able to fly around freely in this greenhouse, so we're gonna need some double doors to keep them from flying away. Alright, there's our footprint. Looking good, looking good. Then we can just connect this path up. Yeah, I think this is the perfect spot, and I'm glad I got rid of some of these trees to give ourselves a little bit more space. All right, next we're gonna build this thing up using some spruce beams. And of course, let's just get these beams stripped. All right, now all we have left to do is put up the roof and then fill in the rest with glass. I'm gonna start with the roof so we have the entire shape of the build all done and ready to go. Especially because the rooftop is going to be filled in with glass as well. And I'm going to go for a roof shape kind of similar to what we have going on with the barn, where the bottom of the roof is a little bit steeper and then the top gently slopes up. Yeah, I think that's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and close these beams off horizontally. It just kind of helps make them feel a little bit more complete and structured. That's looking a lot better. Now, I could extend this middle beam all the way up. However, I want to place the glass first just to see what it looks like. And if it's looking a little bit too empty, we'll definitely extend the beam upwards. And lastly, I think I'm going to try to add a couple more trims to this rooftop. There's going to be a lot of glass within this build, so I feel like breaking it up, at least within the roof, will add a little bit more interest. Okay, now it is finally time for our glass, which honestly, I don't think I have enough of. Do I have any more in here? I have a little bit. We're gonna be using full panes, so I think I might have to go grab a little bit more. That's okay though, because we have a nice sandy beach over here. Hey! What are you doing, buddy? You're not supposed to be over here. You're sniffing some sand? Homie, how'd you get all the way over here? To be fair though, that's totally on me. I don't think I sniffer-proofed the sanctuary very well. That's okay though, we have a ton of leads, so we can bring him back to his home. What's the matter, dude? Party life isn't for you? You just wanted to be one with nature? Don't sniff me, stop it. Stop. Oh no, oh, I got him on a lead. Oh, for a second I didn't think that was gonna work. All right, let's get you back home, buddy. Feel like we can get you through here. Come on. Ow! Uh-oh. Oh no! Okay, we're good? We're good. All right, well, enjoy. Please don't escape again. I'm totally gonna have to fix that soon. But that's a future me problem, because right now we've got a greenhouse to build. All right, let's pop some more of this sand in the furnace. And while we wait for that to burn, I'm just gonna fill in the walls with whatever glass we have. Let's grab some more glass and we'll finish this all off. Now, before we move on to the interior of the greenhouse, I'm just gonna add a couple more decorations to the exterior of the build, just to spice things up a little bit. Yeah, I think this is looking so good. There's still quite a bit of work to be done around the surrounding terrain. However, I think it would be best if we start working on the interior and get the bees in their home. So I've got to be really careful with the shovel that I have right now because that's my only tool that we have with Silk Touch, and we're gonna need that to gather the bees' nests. So for now, I'm just gonna use this iron shovel for building. I will definitely have to repair my shovel soon though. All right, before we get our bees in here, I think I'm gonna put some flooring down. And I think I'm gonna go with a mixture of packed mud and mud bricks. It's nighttime, which is actually the perfect time for us to gather these bees because they should be in their nests now. Thankfully, we're in the flower forest, so there's actually tons around us. Even right here, look, there's 2. Perfect. I think they're probably in their hives. I saw them flying around earlier and I haven't seen them since, so I'm gonna risk it. Usually you can hear them buzzing, but I'm pretty sure they're in these. All right, so that's 2 hives so far. I know there's a couple other ones hanging around the base though. So one right here, and I know there are residents in here. I can hear them. Oh, one right here as well. Let's grab that. And we do have this one that has the campfire above it. I feel like there probably are bees in here. So I'm gonna grab this one too. As long as we have 2, we can always breed more. So I think that should be enough. So I grabbed 5 bees nests and I kind of realized that I would rather use the box hives instead. So I technically didn't have to grab all of these because I'm sure 1 or 2 have enough bees in them, but that's okay. We can always put them back later. Also, I really need to get a secondary door here. I think that's gonna be the first task at hand. We do have to make sure it's functional. However, I want to make it nice too. Nice. Now to make this thing functional, let's put a button here. Bada bing, bada boom. No bees are getting out on my watch, that's for sure. Which they won't, because they're gonna love it here. Why would they ever want to leave? All right, so the next thing that we've got to worry about is getting our redstone components for this. We're gonna be using dispensers as well as observers. Both of those are pretty simple things to make. They just require some redstone, cobble, bows, and some quartz. All right, let's start with our observers. I'm gonna go with 5 since we've got 5 bees nests. And next, let's do our dispensers. However, do these bows work because they have damage on them? I think so. I don't think that should be an issue. Nah, we're good, we're good. Perfect. Now, ideally, I would like to use the bee hives instead of the bee nests. I don't know if it really makes a difference in terms of the redstone, but I kind of just like the look of it better. And ideally, I would like to place some of the bees nests back into nature. However, the problem is I need honeycomb to make them. Now, to just find some more nests with honey. Oh, there's one. Okay, I'm just gonna put that there. And I'm gonna shear this. So we got 3. That's 1 box down, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if this works. Yes, perfect. All right, all we need are 4 more. There's one. There we go. Oh. Okay, well, I thought I was missing more sniffers. Oh boy, you really got pretty far, buddy, didn't ya? Oh my, should we just have a wild sniffer around the base? It's kind of funny at this point. Oh, hey, look. Tetrapod. Thanks, my dude. All right, well, I'm gonna leave you for now because I am on a mission, but I'm gonna try to locate you again sometime. Let me know in the comments if we should leave him free or we should capture him again. Okay, found another nest. There's another one. Please have honey, please. Yes. All right, 1 more. There's 1. Okay, 5. We got it. We got it. So let's make the remainder beehives. And we've got 5. Perfect. So now comes the slightly annoying task of getting the bees from their nest into the hives. I may have made this whole thing a little bit complicated for myself, but hey, I think the hives look better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place one down here, and you know what? Let's just send it. Oh, there he is. Let's get our box down. Come on, buddy. Can I just like break this perhaps? Or is he gonna get mad? Let's see. No, I think he's vibing. I think he's vibing with that. I don't really think I need this campfire here. I'm pretty sure he'll just eventually go in here and then we'll be okay to move it. However, maybe I should probably put this in a spot where I want them to be. I think maybe along here. Where is he? Okay, he's over there. I don't think he's mad at me. Oh, he's mad at me! Oh no! Oh no! He latched onto it! Oh no! No, 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 no! No, no! Oh, oh! Do you think he's over it? Oh, he's not over it yet. He is not over it at all. I'm scared. Help me. Okay, he's fine now. He's fine. We can go back in. Crisis averted. All right, so our boxes are here. Honestly, though, oh no, he's gonna get mad at me again. He's gonna get really mad at me because I'm gonna have to break these really quickly. I want them to be 1 block lower, I think. Oh God, please, please don't be mad at me. Please don't, please don't. Ah, oh, oh, oh. He'll get over it. He will get over it. He's angrily buzzing around looking for me, dude. I'm on the other side of the window, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think he's done. So I think maybe what I want to do is put them on ground level, like right here. And then we could get hoppers underneath possibly. However, I just forgot. The problem is I only have 1 hopper right now. So, I'm gonna have to go get some iron quickly. Before we go into the caves, I'm just gonna double check to make sure we don't have iron in another chest around our base. Although I've cleaned everything up, it's still possible that it could be hanging around somewhere else. My guess would be down in the mine shaft. Yes, okay, we've got some, we've got some. Ooh, look at that. That seems to be it. So this mineshaft might be looking a little bit different to some of you. That is because we did this on one of our streams. I do YouTube live streams from this world quite often, where we usually just choose chill decoration projects to work on. I'm usually live on Mondays at 12 p.m. EST, and if you ever miss the stream, the VODs are available in the live tab. All right, with all of this iron, we should be able to make quite a few hoppers actually. So I'm gonna need quite a few because I wanna line some of the floors in front with hoppers as well. Probably to about here, I would say. Since I want the bees to be able to roam free, that means we're gonna need a bigger surface area to catch all of the things that are gonna be sheared from the hives. Some might still get lost around the edges and stuff, but I think this is a big enough surface area that most of the items will get caught. Now there's only a few blocks that exist that allow items to fall underneath them. That being tilled land and mud. So I'm gonna use a mixture of these two for this area. Let's give this a quick test to make sure it actually works. Perfect, so items are falling into the hoppers and funneling into these chests, which is exactly what we want. Next, what we need to do is place dispensers, making sure that they face the beehives. Yeah, oh no! Ah! Oh no, I think that bee might die now. Oh no, I completely forgot. I'm not doing so well with this task. Oh, I need to be more careful. All right, we are almost done though. Let's get our observers in place. I think we need to do some redstone in between like this. And then basically what we have to do is we need to get some shears into the dispensers to make sure that this whole process works. However, we're not gonna know until the bees make honey, and the problem is I think that bee may have just died. So we're gonna have to figure that out after. But theoretically, this should observe the beehive, and when the honey is all ready to go, it will automatically shear it, boom, drop into here, and it should drop into the chests. And I think it's safe to say, given what just happened with the last bee, our next task is to, get the rest of the bees sorted. I don't even know. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's a bunch. Oh, would you look at that? Okay, what if I break these? I know I'm gonna anger them, but the door's right there, and then they'll just get used to living in here and choose a spot, you know? Okay, I'm running. They are angered, I think. Oh, wait, no. I don't think they seem to care. Look at that. Oh, okay. They went into the hive. You know what? I might not even mess with the rest of these nests. We can easily get more bees if we breed these ones with flowers. Hello. Can I offer you some flowers? There you go. I already gave you a flower. Okay, I'm gonna take this flower out of my hand. Enough. Enough. You go into your little hive thing. Go on. He has a mind of his own. Almost like somebody I once knew. Could that be... No, that can't be Tony. I'm probably gonna have to wait for them to actually make some honey. But in the meantime, I'm gonna breed these bees because look at how cute the baby bee is. Oh my gosh. That is the cutest thing I have ever seen. Look at you go. You're tiny. You're so cute. While we wait for our bees to start producing honey, let's finish up decorating some of this area. This little area kind of ended up being a little bit in front of the door, which honestly, that's okay. I probably could have pushed all this back one more block and had the chest access from the outside, but I don't really think it's much of a problem. It's not like it's really impacting anything. We just won't block this off with like fencing or anything. All right, with that all done, let's move on to decorating. And I think I'm going to start with the exterior of the build. So, of course, since this is a lush, beautiful greenhouse, we need to make the surrounding area kind of look like that as well, which means we need a ton of flowers and saplings just to completely fill this area up and make it look super lush. So I'm just going to start things off by getting rid of some of this podzol, and I'm going to do it the quick and easy way by just bone mealing a bunch of moss around here. All right, that's all good, so now let's drop some saplings around. I want this build to feel like it's really integrated within the forest, so we're gonna plant quite a few back. Also, we haven't used any cherry saplings around this base yet, so I think this will be the perfect spot to pop some down. The trees are all planted, so now let's bone meal some of this grass just to bring back some texture. Plus, since we're in the flower forest, this is gonna give us way more flowers than if you were to just bone meal grass from the plains. All right, we've got a really good base going for us here, but now I think I'm gonna pop in some lilacs. These are gonna complement the cherry trees really nicely. And finally, let's bring in some patches of moss around the front of the build. This will allow us to plant some drip leaf, which I think looks really nice amongst other flowers. All right, I think I heard a redstone component tick. Let's check to see if this worked. Oh, it did! Yes! Okay, perfect. So I'm definitely gonna have to get some more shears in order to be able to shear the last few boxes, and we can also use honey bottles to collect some honey. So lastly, for the flowers in this area, I think I'm gonna put down some cherry petals. This is another thing that I haven't really used from the cherry forest, aside from the build that we did in that biome. So it's nice to finally integrate all these 120 items into the base. We need some light to this area, and we're gonna have to hang lanterns, but let's also place some glowberries around this thing. Ooh, hanging some from the trees will look nice too. That way we'll get some nice ambient light around the build. And finally, let's hang some lanterns on the side of the build. And I think the exterior of this is looking so nice. I ended up thinning out some of the trees behind the greenhouse because it ended up looking really busy. And then after that, I just added in some things along the pathing, some lighting, and I think we're all good to go. So all we really have left to do is finish out the interior of the greenhouse. So I'm gonna start off by putting some beams on the ceiling. I'm gonna kind of have them crossing in between one another. Then I'm just going to toss a bunch of leaves in between and hanging off of them as well. Next, let's cover up the components of this redstone farm just to make it look a little bit nicer. I think it would probably be best to kind of cover this up so the bees can't get to it, just because I don't want them to get stuck in the redstone or storage area. Sorry bees, this is the employees only zone. And lastly, because of course since this is a greenhouse, we gotta get some cute little tables that have flowers on them. Let's just pop down a bunch of flower pots. Now let's get some nice trees and flowers put in. Oh, look, he loves it. I don't mean to brag, but I think this area is already a big hit. All right, and here is our greenhouse all complete. I think this turned out so cute. I really love the exterior. I'm happy I kind of went with a theme of all of the azalea leaves. I matched all the pink flowers with the cherry trees, and I think it all just came together really nicely. I especially love the placement of the greenhouse. The pathway feels like a little bit of a secret area that you stumble upon, and I think it just looks super cute and magical. So for the inside of the build, I ended up stripping back some of this flower bed just because it looked a little bit awkward right when you walked in, you were stepping in mud. However, if I notice that too much of the honeycomb isn't getting picked up, I might just put it back. But honestly, we're not really gonna need that much honeycomb for building or anything. I mostly just wanted this greenhouse because I thought it would look cute. And look, the bees, they're loving it. They're having the best time. So basically, I just decorated this out, trying to make it as overgrown and cozy as possible. I added some flowers that I thought the bees would like, added in a lot of lighting, and yeah, I think it looks really cute in here. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Plus, we have easy access into our farm. So as you can see, we've already collected some stuff right here. We've got some honeycomb, and all of the stuff that fell into this while I was building. But we've got a fair amount. It's pretty good. I just need to put honey bottles in here as well to collect some honey. But yeah, it seems to be working just fine. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and most importantly, we've got a really nice spot for our bees. Although I am taking it a little bit personally that Tony hasn't come back yet. Maybe one day. So yeah, this is our greenhouse build, and I think it's added so much coziness to our base. I'm really happy with how it turned out. You know what? There's one last thing that we need to do. We need to put some of these beehives back. Just because we have bees in the greenhouse now doesn't mean we shouldn't have them out here anymore. This is what brought so much life to the flower forest, and I didn't want to really take that away. There we go. So many bees. It's so full of life, I love it. And honestly, while we're at it, why don't we just get a bunch of bottles with this leftover glass that we have and put them into the machine as well. And let's just pop them into this one. Where did all my bee friends go? Oh, this guy is just living up here. He's into the spore blossom. He loves everything. Whoa, what a dive. All right, I'm just gonna keep making baby bees because one, it is adorable, and two, the more bees we have in here, honestly, the better. So with this greenhouse done, we have a beautiful place for our bees to live. And I think with that, we're pretty much done everything for today's episode. All right, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone!